So how does this AI technology work?
So at Afresh, we believe that food, more so than anything else, shapes the health of people and our planet. And specifically within that, we think that fresh food is really driving the future of the grocery business and what people want to eat. At the same time, though, in building the company, we observed that most, if not all, of the technology was built for non-fresh stuff. It was built for things that come in a box and have a barcode and last a long time. And the result of that, in turn, is that there was all these processes that were not built for fresh, and that, in turn, would cause hundreds of billions of dollars of food waste across the world and a bunch of other problems.
So how can AI help in the produce category?
So what we're doing is building technology specifically for fresh food. And what that enables us to do is optimize the quantity of food that goes into different parts of the supply chain to be as fresh as possible, order just the right amount and not too little, and that causes us to be able to prevent food waste while keeping grocers in stock.
How do you do that? I mean, even me as a mom, it's either too much or not enough.
Yes.
Whatever I buy at the store.
It's a classic balancing act, and it's really, really, really tough. The way that we do it is we empower store employees at grocery stores with an app that's served on a tablet, and that's powered in the background by artificial intelligence that's trying to predict the future, how much is going to be sold, understand how much is in the store right now, and then use all that information to create a profit maximizing, waste minimizing order, keeping the shelves full while minimizing the inventory that's in the back room.
So you're basically trying to figure out how to get grocers not to overorder.
That's right. You don't want them to overorder. At the same time, you don't want them to underorder, because the other problem we're seeing with the supply chain is those empty shelves. So what we really want to do is find that sweet spot where you go to the store and the shelf is full, but the food is, they didn't order too much so that they are going to cause waste.
Why is getting fresh food so difficult? I mean, even when picking produce out at the store, sometimes it's already going bad by the time I pick it up.
Yeah. Well, a lot of this is going back to the original thesis of the company. We think fresh is the future, but fresh is just so tricky. When you pick a berry, it's basically a race against the clock until it's moldy. It's got to stay refrigerated, it's got to move quickly through it, it could be sold by weight, and so the data structures aren't there. There's no best by date on a strawberry. So everything in fresh is far more complicated, and that's why we believe you have to build fresh first technology to be able to handle it.
You've got 9 grocery chains on board in the US.
That's right.
How do you plan to get more?
So we're demonstrating results. So we've shown to date that we prevent waste by about 15 to 25%, while also increasing sales by over 3%. And so success like that is generating word of mouth and happy reference customers for us that are really enabling us to grow super rapidly.
How do you plan to use the new capital?
Really scale. So at the end of last year, we were live in 200 stores, and we've signed now, as of right now, over 3,000. So we're growing by over 15x. So we're going to use the capital to help us scale, and then we're going to go from our starting point in fruits and vegetables to meat and seafood, deli, bakery, all the fresh stuff around the grocery store. And then we plan to make our initial forays internationally and up higher in the supply chain.
What was it like raising money in this environment? I mean, it's a tough environment. Did that impact your valuation? What is your valuation?
We're in a bit of a unique place at Afresh where we're of service to this mission critical industry of grocery. And I think during the pandemic, everyone came to appreciate that when times are tough, grocers are what really feed us, and share of stomach goes more towards eating in. And so we're of service to that industry that kind of is acyclical or can even benefit from tough times. And then we're tackling problems of inflation and supply chain. And so I think investors really saw all of that, and they saw the traction that we had, and they were willing to bet big on us, which I'm really proud of. I can't share that right now.
Okay, well, what are your longer term plans? I mean, are you looking to stay independent, go public, get bought by a larger food distributor? What's the goal?
Our mission is to eliminate food waste and make fresh food accessible to all. There's trillions of dollars of fresh food sold around the world. Our mission, what I believe we want to do, is build a very big company that eliminates that waste and proliferates across the supply chain. So whether that be a standalone company or eventually IPOing, my plan really is just to try to fulfill that mission.
And how does this impact the suppliers on the back end, quickly?
So,
is it worse for them because, grocers are ordering less?
The dynamic we live in is that population is growing from something like 7 billion people to 9 and 10 billion people. So
contrary to what Elon Musk has to say.
I mean, no comment. But what I will say is that population is growing, and we're out of land. We're burning down the rainforest to create enough land to grow cows, and yields are going to be impacted by climate change. So we have to find ways to do more with less to be sustainable. And so at the end of the day, when we drive efficiencies at the store, growers upstream are really appreciative of that as well.